my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at Origins 2017. I'm sitting down with Maury McCardle from Rather Dashing Games, and you brought us Element.
Yes. Element is an abstract strategy game for 2 to 4 players. So you can play 2, 3, or 4. In a 2-player game, you're going head-to-head, but in a 3 or 4-player game, you're trying to capture the sage to the player to your right. So I will be trying to capture you, you will be trying to capture him, he will be trying to capture him. If you capture the wrong sage, you've actually won the game for someone else.
Wow.
So you have to be careful about who you're going after, and you may try to help another sage escape so that you have a chance to capture the sage you're going after. So your goal is to completely encircle the sage by leaving no movements for it to escape. And as soon as that happens, that's the end of the game, you've won the game. You're going to be encircling your stages by using the different element stones. We have fire, water, earth, and wind, and each one of them has a unique property based in nature, so it will be familiar and easy to remember when you're playing the game. So fire spreads, so when you place a fire stone, at the beginning of your turn you will draw 4 stones out of the bag blindly, so you don't know what you're getting, but you will be able to place them all in different ways on your turn. So if I place a firestone, I immediately get to get a firestone on the opposite side of where I placed that fire. So I get to draw a freeze token out of the bag and place it there. So I can start creating large walls of fire as we're playing. So you can carve out the board that way. Water flows, so we create rivers. Anything that's in a line is considered part of a river. When I place a new headwater, that's what we call the stone you place at the beginning, I then have created a river that's 4 spaces long, and I have to move that river 4 spaces.
Wow.
But I can bend it, so I can pull this river 1, 2, 3, 4, and start bending that all the way around that stage to capture it.
It's very fun.
I like that. You need to be like, I'm an airbender, I'm a waterbender.
And that's what I was thinking, honestly, because I adore that show.
So Earth can start to create mountain chains. So at this point, you get 1 movement on your turn, and you can move your sage in any direction. You can go diagonally or orthogonally, but you cannot move into a space that has another stone in it. So he could still move out of this space here. As soon as I start stacking Earth high, you can go up to 2 high on this entire section becomes a mountain chain, and you can no longer pass over that mountain chain, so you can really get people stuck in those spaces. However, wind allows you to jump, so he would be able to jump over this windstone and get out of that situation. He would not be able to jump over this wind because that would land him on that mountain, so he's stuck there. You can stack wind as well, and you can stack up to 4 high, and depending on how high it is, that's how many spaces you can jump. So I can place this now, he could jump over those 2 spaces and land there.
Well, and let's highlight too how when I picked up these pieces, the first thing I said was, whoa, because what are these made of?
They're resin, actually. They're cast resin, they're very heavy, and they're painted. These little staffs are actually metal rods. And this particular sage was actually designed after the designer's, to look like the designer's grandfather. So, little inside tip there.
Now, if you bought this, would it also, because you have a pretty outstandingly beautiful bag as well.
Yes, and the bag was actually the idea, the brainchild of the designer's wife. They were playtesting the game with this tiny bag, and she was like, no, this is not going to do. So she went into her sewing room, came back like 20 minutes later and was like, this is the bag we're using. So we had to send that bag off to the manufacturer and say, this is what we want. And so that's what we got.
Now, how many players?
It would be 2, 3, or 4.
And how long do you think a full game would take?
It takes about 30 minutes to play. If you have those people who want to think about a lot of things. The first playthrough takes a little longer because you're learning how all the elements work. But we did want to design it to look like it's an old game that's been around for a long time, and so the art, kind of ties into that Celtic feel of like an old school game.
And I'm feeling a little reminiscent. I know the gameplay is nothing the same, but it looks like it should fit in with a Go board, which is probably the most ancient game that we can all think of. And it's definitely evoking feelings of something that, I almost had half expected you to say, oh, this is a retooling of a game that's been around since blah, blah, blah times. And it's really neat to find out that it's not.
Yes. And people it's beautiful on the table, so it's one of those games that you wouldn't mind leaving out on your table.
Table game.
Between plays, have people come over, what's this beautiful game? You say, oh yes, let's play some Netflix.
Well, Maureen, thank you for letting us take a look. If you guys want to look at this is Element, which is being published by Rather Dashing, and thank you again.
Thank you.